happened. Well, it looks like wasn't cut very well. It looks like the guy maybe he lost his balance, and he just kind of gouged it on one side more than the other. And then because he weakened it by cutting it so thin, when they carried it in, they probably threw it over their shoulder and broke the spine. So there you go. I'm a forensic scientist now.
Be to be a butcher, you know.
Well, you see, you kind of know what happened. We carried a lot of these things over the years, and you know what can happen. So it's not a big deal. It's not rocket science. Okay, so we're going to go through this rather than lecture first, because we already got our hands dirty. All right. Now, our primals and our separation is totally different here. It's totally different. We don't have a round of hog. We don't have a leg of hog. We have a ham. And we have a loin from here to here. And we have a belly. And we have a shoulder. Top half is called a butt. Bottom half is called a picnic. So I'm going to run through this really quick. Take it apart.
Usually when you get a carcass like this, does it come with the bacon in it, or they?
Well, bacon's right here. Yeah, the bellies. Yeah. When you get a whole animal, you're going to get the belly and everything. Yeah. You'll see how it all comes apart in just a minute, and then you'll understand where all the parts come from. Separation points are totally different. Totally different. I'll show you that in just 1 second. All right. When we take the ham off, we don't take it off at the end of the femur bone like we do as if it was a beef round. We don't take it off at the end of the tip of the hip as if it was a leg of veal or a leg of lamb. We go in the middle of the two, literally in the middle of the two, and then we'll cut right about here. We don't want to cut this. That's part of the belly. Cut through here. Skin is pretty tough. There's your ham. This is the beginning stage of a smoked ham, of a prosciutto, serrano ham, Iberico ham, regular everyday smoked ham like you would have for Easter or for Christmas. There's a lot of cutlets in here. There's a lot of pork cutlets in here. And the top round is right there. All right? Nothing better than watching a bunch of pigs walk around and all you see is the top round. All I keep thinking is hams, prosciuttos. And I said, man, they're so cute, those things. Prosciutto that would make, you know? So, anyway, a lot going on here. Top round, bottom round, eye round, knuckle, heel, shank, a little tiny piece of the sirloin, not much, because it's basically left on here.
It's whiter when you cook it too, right? It's not that
pork
red
is
color.
white when it's cooked, yeah.
Well, no. The ham is usually when it's cured, it usually stays pinkish.
Yes.
But then you have that flap at the end right here that's white, usually not on it when you cook it, no?
Well, I'm not quite sure if I understand what you're talking about, but a smoked ham is treated with a curing agent called TCM1 or sodium nitrite, and that's what turns it pink. That's what turns everything pink. Okay?
I think so.
Now, the majority of the time, the hock will stay on the ham. The back hock will stay on the ham. When you buy hocks, you get them in 10-pound boxes or whatever, you are typically getting the front section. Okay? These are typically stay on. When you buy hams, quite often, they're sold with full skin on them. I've also seen them where part of the skin is cut off. Alright? But that's just the way it is. That's who's doing it. The ones that I get usually come down from Canada. It's a company called Olymel, and they have full skin, which I really like, especially if we're doing prosciuttos. And I don't have to worry about any bacteria getting through the skin. if we're going to take this ham and make a boneless prosciutto, you would come right down through here, split, and reach it. First you take out the H-bone, gone. Then you would come in through here, and you would reach in there and cut along that femur bone, and peel that femur bone out. All right? And that's how you make a boneless prosciutto.
Seems like a very tedious task.
It can be. It can be. Yeah, you gotta be careful because you gotta put it back together again. Right? So it works. You know, it works pretty well. There's machines that do it on a big scale. There's machines that will go in there and take that thing right out of there. There's your whole ham. I call that a piggy bank. This ham right here costs about $1.25 a pound, wholesale. Okay, wholesale, $1.25 a pound. I bought them last year as cheap as $1.05 and even 99 cents. Big money being made here. You can make a lot of pork cutlets out of this thing. You saw how many veal cutlets came out of that like yesterday, right? You can make a lot of pork cutlets out of this. Think about having pork cutlets on your menu. Okay. I'm going to come up now to the other side. I'm going to come in 2 ribs. Vertebrae if I can. Bone. When you get through the bone with the saw, you want to stop right away because it just makes a mess. You know, it just tears the meat up pretty good. Okay. Skin is tough to cut through sometimes. Okay, here's my front shoulder, my whole front shoulder. Top half will be the butt, bottom half will be the picnic. The hock would come off, and of course you got the feet. I'm going to take that apart for you in just a minute. I'm anticipating this is going to give me a lot of problem here because of the broken backbone.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's bad. It's pretty bad. The guy, I'm going to guess now. This is strictly a guess. I think he lost balance and slipped.
Yeah.
Okay. And then when they transported it,
They picked up food over the shoulder.
threw it over the shoulder, and that was the end of that.
Exactly the
So
same thing.
the spine isn't usually
So
cut like
exactly
that.
the same thing what he's.
You can do the same thing with deer if you don't handle it carefully. I've seen many a redneck think he was being He-Man, cut it wrong, toss it over his shoulder, and snap the back right in half. I'm like, yeah, you just screwed me, mate.
Just do it bang bang on the floor and there.
Makes it easy to cut the belly off because I can bend it for no problem. But I'm not looking for that kind of easy.
This is going to be a serious issue tomorrow when you've got to take that pork loin apart. Because there is a possibility that that knife is going to slip right through that crack and stab the eye muscle. So that could be a problem. But he's skilled enough that he's probably not going to do it. Right, Chip?
Let's hope.
Could the muscle also be all torn up?
It could have caused stress on the muscle, yes. So that's why
Is that bone or is that oxygen?
it's
Bone choke.
See?
He was doing a nice job because you got spinal cord here,
I think he slipped.
then he lost it, and he came back out again. Not the end of the world. I've seen him a lot worse than this, but not very often, thank God. So here's your belly. Here's your pork belly. And it's raw state or it's AP state. Question? You gonna say something?
Oh no.
Okay.
All these stamps are on the right. See, right when you section it, they have the stamp right here.
They have to be.
Yeah.
The all primals, they have to be.
Yeah, yeah.
Any part that could be sold separately.
See, this is a market style hog. This hog would have gone out to the open market and would have gone out in primals, typically. Cut off the end, trim. Right. Now, when you get bellies, many different ways to order bellies. You can order skin on, like so. Rib on, which is exactly what this would be. Skin on, rib on. You can get rib off and skin on. Skin off, rib off. You know, there's a lot of different specs, whatever you want. When I buy them, I prefer to buy skin on, rib off.
Yeah.
That's how I buy. Summertime, if I happen to be going through a lot of bellies,
Yeah.
then I'll bring them in with the ribs on them, because I can use the ribs.
Yeah, I can.
Delicious.
See, all this, you gotta be careful. You don't want to eat that, right?
Now, in the big packing houses, this is done with a knife with two handles.
You ever seen cheese knife?
Oh, yeah.
Okay? There's your full slab of ribs.
Oh.
That's your full slab of spare ribs. Okay? Isn't that beautiful?
Oh yeah.
And then tell me that doesn't make you hungry.
Yeah, it did.
All
Right.
right? Now, a full rack of ribs can also be referred to as a Texas slab or just a full slab. Okay? You're going to see 4 different types of spare ribs. This is one, the full slab. They're all spare ribs. In other words, they're all cars. Okay? We just got to give them different names, different models.
Yeah, too many.
So this is a van. This is a van. This is a full size van like I got. All right? Now that's a Ford van because they're a lot smaller. This is now a St. Louis rib. Okay? So we took from full slab, took off this is called a brake. Now we have St. Louis
It's
rib.
Texas, St. Louis.
Yeah, take the brakes off and drive to St. Louis. There you go. Okay? Take the brake off and drive to St. Louis. Okay? Okay. Your baby backs are here.
Yep.
Baby backs can only come from the loin. Only. The place where you come from is the loin. Right. The 4th style of rib will be your country style spare rib, which will come from the rib end of the loin. They're thick slices off of here, usually 1.5 inches thick. Then they're cut and they're sliced in half again across the diagonal. And they lay them open. This has a bone running right through it. So the only way I can do this is on the bandsaw to do it nicely. Right? And that would be your country style. So there's your country style rib. Has to come from the primal pork loin. This is a primal pork loin. Why is this a primal pork loin? Because the rib end and the sirloin end are still on. If I were to take off the rib end, oh, hey, look what I see. Little PSE.
That usually doesn't happen with milers.
I'll show it to you. Hold on. I'll show it to you. Relax.
I'll stick your head over here. He's got a knife in his hand.
Okay. So, by taking off the rib end, the sirloin end, and the rib end, now listen carefully to what I'm going to say to you. All right? Together, it's a primal pork loin. Using only 2 or 3 words, if I were to describe to you a center cut pork loin, it would be very simple. Both ends removed. That's what you got to remember.
That's important.
It's really important to remember that, okay?
Hint, hint.
Primal pork loin, both ends removed, center cut pork loin. Primal, subprimal. Okay? All right. There you go. See that little bit of gelatinous material right there? That's PSE. That's a very small amount of PSE. Okay?
That's the first time I've seen it on one of our
Yeah, it's the
market
first time
hogs.
from him, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so there you go.
Would the loin normally be that color, or should it be a little more?
No, this is very minor, by the way. This is very, very minor. Had this been a real bad case of PSE, that gelatinous material would have been all the way through here.
Could you have sent that back or anything like that if you would
Nah,
have
makes it
there's not enough there to worry about.
Okay.
It cooks out dry. That's what it causes. Because what has happened here is that moisture has come up and gotten between the meat and the fat. It's no longer in the meat. So when you cook this meat, it's going to be a little drier than you would typically anticipate. So that's what PSE. There's also RSE. which is where this would be a dark red, but it would still be exudative. But this is PSC.
Okay, here's your belly. We're still cutting these in half?
Yes, please.
RSC has a funky flavor to it too, right?
It's just dry.
You tasted it.
Okay,
Look at that.
how happy are you?
Very good.
Okay,
boy.
heaven is located somewhere between the skin and the meat.
Yep.
Okay, that's true.
It's all good as long as it doesn't go to
Bacon
K60.
bill.
Bacon.
We're going to bacon bill. Okay, here's your bellies. All right, let's see.
Broke my teeth like you're baking this one.
Sorry, bacon was pretty much sliced pork belly and
Yeah.
So it is.
Yeah. Well, you cure it whole, is what you would do, and then once it's done, you know, you smoke it. I've never had not smoked bacon.
It's weird.
Fresh bacon?
Yeah.
What?
So you would smoke it, and then you would slice it off, cook it.
You're offended.
I like to
Yeah.
grind bacon and put it in my lamb burgers.
All right, I'm going to show you something here. It's kind of a cool way to merchandise the loin ends in the event that you need to.
Notice he's not losing a whole lot. What he's losing is like veins, glands, unsightly pieces that you really want to eat, really don't want to eat, excuse me. So he's not losing a whole lot when he's trimming this up. And I expect the same thing when you guys do your trim. Because you can use most of the hog, you know, except for the squeal. Squeal.
The noise.
I think in the north we call that the face. Is that
I don't
when
know.
you say the squeal?
I'm not from the north. I don't have a
Audio, the literal sound
Maybe
that
that
you
way.
make.
The face gets eaten.
Oh, yeah.
Good old head cheese.
exactly.
I grew up eating capizzella too, so.
Capizzella.
I like bigger than
You can never do capizzella.
It's grew on me.
Okay, what I've done is just taken out the loin bone.
Happiness.
What is it, team?
Chop chef.
Who said porterhouse?
Smack you with that steel.
Don't insult the king of steaks.
Is that a loin chop?
It's a rib eye.
One himself?
Just close to that, right?
Nope, not even.
I'll serve.
Sirloin steak or pork.
Sirloin steak.
Now this is not good enough to be a steak.
That's what it is going to be.
Sausage.
Well, stew.
Very,
Big pardon?
very tender.
Oh, yeah. If you're talking sirloin, you know, wasn't the sirloin pretty tender on beef?
Yeah.
It's
How
probably
about this little piece right here? Who recognizes what this might be?
It's the end of the loin.
The end of what?
The loin.
Tenderloin, sure. What am I going to do with that?
Eat it.
Medallions.
Wrap that in that fat.
Snack, no meat snack.
Well, you know how you wrap beef tenderloins in caul fat?
What do you think?
It's pretty beautiful.
Lunch special.
How much did I throw away here?
Barely any.
Barely anything, right? I could even go a little bit crazier over here if I want to.
I absolutely love those little medallions. I've never seen anything like that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's like a $12 appetizer.
Well, I've seen like pork medallions at like Outback, but nothing ever like that beautiful.
Yeah.
You know how much that would cost you on your menu? Your food cost on that right there would be $1. Fucking half, maybe. Food cost.
Sous vide that with some soy and ginger, garlic, a little bit of honey.
Ooh, boy. Marina, how many beef kebabs did we make for that wedding?
Oh, shit.
beef kebabs, pork and kebabs, chicken kebabs.
200
200.
cubes of each.
Yeah.
And I made like 50 kebabs, 4
Mad
pieces of meat
sticking.
each. No, because I had to cut them all and then stick them.
Double the
I
work.
went to bed like,
Oh no, that wasn't even my whole day. It was a chef.
It was a busy weekend, huh?
That was fun.
2 hours of your day.
Not even. Not even.
4 jobs in the same day.
Yep.
And,
And
all of them were on site.
That's great. That's
All of them were on
How
site.
could you manage that? That's
A lot of crew
And
and
big crew, and every single piece of equipment that I owned.
within your.
Was
Even the
out.
stuff that I had in storage. And we got brought out to use.
tell them what you did with the pig cooker.
Pig cooker, what did I do with the
You
pig cooker?
flipped the freaking
Oh, I
pig
rolled it
cooker.
over, yeah.
After
At the site.
What were you after you're done? Obviously.
No, we hadn't even cooked it yet.
I was going to the van to get the pig, and I'm like, Chef, this is a hill. You might want to turn. Oh, it's fine. I go in the in the van to get the pig. Drunk, drunk, drunk. I'm like, there he went.
I rolled it over.
But we had what, 7 grills and 3 pig cookers out that day.
7 grills, 2 pig cookers, my rig, steam table. I think we had out that day. We had it all out. Everything. We had it all.
But there was a wedding,